Welcome to another edition of the Coming Apocalypse. You know, when you think about volcanoes erupting in the Canary Islands, the tornadoes that just tore through our country, the shortages of food on the shelves, the inflation rates that are rising, the snow blizzards that are hitting in the West, the earthquake that just hit Indonesia. There's just a lot of crazy stuff going on. But the last thing we need is a pork recall of 2 million pounds. How are we going to get through December? You know what we're going to do? We're going to find out. We're going to ask the expert of all experts from getthetea.com, Ronnie McMullen. Ronnie, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
If you can do
Ronnie,
good in this crazy world, then we're really doing good.
I mean, the economy is really shaky. Did you see what's going on in Turkey? They're standing in bread lines a mile long.
It's coming to America. It's coming to America. And the key is what can we do to shift and make sure that we're not in that soup line in the first week?
Wow. We don't want to be there.
No, you don't want to be there, but they're already, I mean, we're what, a year into the administration, and look where we're going.
Yeah.
The rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer, and the middle guy is completely gone.
Squeezed out.
Yep.
He either has to go up or fall down, and most of them fall down the way this is set up, isn't it?
Yep. The dollar is devaluing. Inflation is eating it up. Real estate is flying, but the thing is everybody is in a certain situation where they're like, if they're embedded in real estate, they're like, oh, it's going to be fine. Real estate's going up. And it is. It's gone up crazy like. But there's going to be a block wall at the end of the railroad tracks, and real estate's going to fall hard.
Because it's a bubble. So you're predicting a real estate bubble in this nation.
Oh, yeah, it's going to pop. What goes up comes down.
Yep.
And I don't want to put this in a point of, fear and scary. But a lot of people call me, and I'm not a financial advisor, but a lot of people call me and say, Ronnie, what do I do with my money? I've got a little bit left. What do I do? Do I put it into stocks? Do I put it into real estate? Do I put it into crypto? Do I put it into precious metals? What do I do with it? And sometimes if you think smart, like we look at precious metals, and that's a big ooh-ah. It's been there since Jesus' days. But a gold coin or a wheelbarrow, which one's going to do you more good? Because when it really hits because when it really hits, you're going to need to grow your own food. What about seeds? What about stuff that we just don't think? A hose, a way to get water, a solar panel that you can get a little bit of power off of. And I'm not talking about the solar panels in your house. But things are probably going to be worth more than gold and silver. Crypto is okay, but here's the problem. Everything's manipulated. Everything. And people go, no, gold and silver is good. Gold and silver is just as manipulated as crypto, just as manipulated as the stock market, and just as manipulated as, I'll say other things. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Well,
everything has a
has
price.
Got somebody managing it, somebody controlling it.
Including the pork.
Yes, the pork.
Including the pork. Because if you have a 2 million pounds go by, what's that going to do for the economy?
It's going to hurt. And for instance, here's what they're saying. More than 2 million pounds were added to the recall that has already more than 117 tons. So you're adding another 2 million pounds of pork and pepperoni products, ham, just in time for the holidays. And the company that is two of them, Alexander Hornung and Purdue Premium Meat Company. So Ronnie, this is dangerous, isn't it?
It is, because what it's going to do for the short term is probably drive up beef prices. Why is it going to drive up beef prices? Because everybody's going to go, well, I'm not going to eat pork, I'm going to eat beef. And then all the beef's going to sell out. So then the only way to get it to slow down is to raise the price. I couldn't believe for a brisket, $8 a pound.
What? $8?
A brisket, a pound for a brisket. Chuck roast, $9 a pound. We're not talking about steaks. We're not talking about filet mignon. We're talking about chuck roast. We're talking lower cuts of meat.
Right.
$9 a pound. Steak, $17 a pound for top sirloin. 17
is insane. Is this being purposely managed, just like everything else that they say is sitting on the docks or sitting out in the ocean, these containers, and nobody can get it unloaded? I mean, who's controlling the process? Where did everybody go that unloads trucks? And where's all the truck drivers?
Well, again, if you're paid by the government, why go to work and drive a truck? This has been purposely orchestrated to crash our economy. Yeah. And unless the people stand up and do whatever they've got to do, this isn't about voting for your next senator or your next congressman because it's too late. This is about standing up before we're in soup lines. And you know who's going to be feeding us the soup? The rich.
It's going to be very scary because it's going to be limited, rationed, the prices. We've already got a hyperinflation situation, Ronnie, that's getting, I'm telling you, it's on its way up. Look at Turkey. Turkey, it just gone. They have to work 3 days for a chicken. It's come down to the average person in Turkey has to work 3 full days to buy one small chicken.
Yep.
And people are having to get out of their apartments and homes, and they're all piling into one house and keep throwing their money all in together just to eat. This is
throw a disease on top of that. Throw a disease on top of that where you can't go out of your house. Put that on top. Let's put the icing on the cake. Very well orchestrated this plan, and you know, this is the time we really. I don't think my knees are completely dirty because I've been on my knees praying because this is bad. And they're putting pictures of Hitler and they're putting pictures of Germany and making comments about what's going on right now. Is it mirroring Germany? Is it mirroring the days of Hitler? And it is. So where do we go from here?
Yeah, where do we go from here? And it looks like we have, like, Angela Merkel was just removed. She's no longer in charge of Germany. They're wanting to get rid of Boris Johnson in the UK right now. Macron's pretty weak. President Biden is very weak. You know, I don't know. Russia's got troops on the border of Ukraine, and I don't think they're afraid of anybody. And the economy, we're borrowing money like mad. We're spending money faster than we can print it. I mean, Ronnie, what happens?
Well, and then that's not counting the China-Taiwan war. When that fires up, guess who's going to come to Taiwan's aid? And let's not forget about Russia and the Ukraine. When the Ukraine starts getting their butts kicked, who's going to come to their aid? And that's going to deplete our military. So we have two fronts we're going to be fighting. Helping, we're not really fighting, that's not our fight, but helping these other people, which means we're going to be weak in our military, which means if somebody comes and knocks on our door, we won't have any troops to protect.
Yeah, we're really not. We can't even protect our southern border, let alone protect from an invasion. And I think that's exactly right. We're being spread too thin. And don't forget, we might have to go help Israel if Iran attacks them. We could be split into 3 different directions here. I don't think
or more.
Back.
World War III is coming.
It really is. It really is. And in the Bible, it even tells us that there's going to be the 6th trumpet war, which is World War III, basically. Kills 1/3 of the world. I mean, I hope that this isn't when it's going to happen right now, but you can sense it's like 1938 again.
Well, what I sense coming, and it's like playing hardcore in me, is the financial system first. Because
so let's
when
talk
everybody's
about that. Talk about that,
okay.
Ronnie. What you see in this current financial system in America?
Well, I think the first thing is they've already got the inflation moving forward to where your dollar's worth less. They're manipulating the precious metals. They're manipulating the crypto. They're manipulating the dollar. They're manipulating the stock market. Stock market's been manipulated for a long time. And what they do is they give you a few bucks. Then you say, wow, it's kind of like Vegas. The stock market and crypto, it's a lot like Vegas. You go and put your money on the table. You win a little bit of money and you go, wow, that was really great. So then you put your money back on the table again. You win some more. You do this 3 or 4 times. You go, man, you look back at your wife, honey, I'm on a winning streak. Give me your wallet. Let's go. I can't lose. You throw all of your money out on the table. Boom, they take it. Wow. And that's where we are. That's what we're doing with crypto. That's what we're doing with stock market. And what happens when we wake up one morning, and this is going to happen, and the banks are closed?
Oh.
How many elderly people have their savings accounts sitting in a bank, believing in the FDIC and the insurance that it carries, which is jack? Do your investigation on that. It's bogus. So how many people are relying on that so they can get the rich will get some of their money and the poor will get nothing?
That's usually what happens. We've seen this in many different empires that when they're on the verge of collapse, first thing happens, they do the run on the bank.
Yep.
Then the banks close. Then they go to the ATMs, which of course limits them to a very small amount of withdrawals. That's just to stall it.
And they're just going to hand out paper. They're going to hand out paper. Paper's not worth anything. So that $20 bill is going to be worth about 20 cents.
Right.
They've already gotten rid of the coins because there's supposedly a coin shortage. There's no coin shortage. What they have is it costs too much to make a coin. You know, when you make a nickel and it costs you 25 cents to make 5 cents, they're like, this is crazy. We're not doing this anymore. We'll call a shortage.
Right.
So we're in a place where, you know, and you can look all over YouTube and how to get rich and this is the great time and all this. And I'm thinking to myself, this is not a great time, because what happens is when your bank is closed and you have no money and you need to eat and you didn't put any food in your table and you don't have any food in your storage, what do you have? You've got nothing. So then what do? You start to steal. And we're going to have crime.
Well,
crime rate's going to go up.
Ronnie, I mean, look at the crime right now. Look what's been going
crazy.
on. These mobs just crashing and robbing, and this is organized gang criminal activity in every major city in America now. Completely out of control. Lawlessness. Wouldn't you agree?
It is lawlessness. Absolutely lawlessness. And this is going to continue. And even the good people are going to start thieving because they've got to feed their children. So this is a time like no other. And, you know, I know people are probably listening to this or watching this and they're like scared to death, like, Ronnie, what do I do? And this is a time, if anybody really understands prayer, this is the time to put those prayers into action, because it's pretty bad when I'll have somebody call and they'll say, what do I do with my money, Ronnie? I've got a little bit left. I kind of don't know, you know? I mean, you should have a little bit of food, you know. Do I want to eat dust food? Not really, but, you know, we should have a little bit of food. We should have the means to grow, in other words, you should have blankets also. So if they shut off your power, you have blankets to keep warm. I mean, you need to think like apocalypse.
Well, let's just think about that. What happened in Mayfield, Kentucky? The apocalypse came.
Yes.
The water tower was knocked down by this storm. There's no power. The power station's gone. There's no food. There's no water. There's no power. They're still digging people out from under the rubble. The closest towns are like 35 miles away. These people have all of a sudden woke up in the apocalypse. And if they don't have, that's if they still got their house. If they still got their house, they don't have any power, no refrigeration, nowhere to go. The grocery stores have blown up. The courthouse is blown up. The post office is blown up. They've been set back 100 years.
Yes.
And what is the plan?
Yeah,
what
what's
do
the
they
plan?
get?
They gonna go to the bank and get money? It ain't gonna
No,
happen. Do their cars run because of all the debris? Are they
no.
able to get around? I mean, they're in now. Will they survive? Yes,
Yes.
but the wise survive.
Let's talk about that. And one way to do that, folks, this is www.getthetea.com. That's www.getthetea.com. Let's go to the homepage of Ronnie McMullen over at Get the Tea. You can pick up the phone at any time and call this number, 928-308-0408. And let's take a look at some of the specials that Ronnie's got going right now. Ronnie, tell us
The
about
big
these
the big
specials.
the big special is buy 2 tea, get 1 free.
Buy 2 teas and get 1 free. Oh, I see it. I
Yes,
love it. I'm showing
the
it on the
biggest
screen right now. Yeah.
biggest sale of the year. Buy 2, get 1 free.
And you've got another flavor over there. Is that pomegranate?
Pomegranate, peppermint, and then the regular super tea. And they're all the same strength.
Wow. And you've reduced the price on them on top of that. So buy 2, get
Buy
1
2,
free.
get 1 free.
Yeah. And let's talk about some of your other products you have here, because you've got this potent sea vegetables. Tell us about this.
Potency sea vegetables have great natural iodine. So they do a lot of things that I can't tell you on air. They do lots of good stuff for big problems in your body, put it that way. So,
Okay, so more than just the digestive system, I take it.
yes, a lot
What?
more.
And so
And
the tea really cleanses the digestive system. We know that. That's a
yes,
great. What a way to get rid of toxin.
yes.
And then you got Life Change Moringa.
Moringa is great for immunity. Immunity is
Ah,
wonderful.
well, we need
And
that.
well, we need that. There's something to be thinking about. And this is something that doesn't matter where you're at. So let's talk about tornadoes ripping through your city.
All right.
What do you think that does to the water that you do have? Makes it bad. Let's talk
Bad.
about an earthquake in Los Angeles or San Francisco. What happens to the water? Always think about water.
It gets
Always think about
polluted.
water. So the tea will help cleanse. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
It'll,
Be-
it'll cleanse your body, and it'll cleanse. So it always takes out. This is something that we've talked about, but we don't talk about it every show. If you were to take the tea and you're on pharmaceuticals, so you're on some kind of medicine, you want to take it 2 hours before or 2 hours after. And the reason being is tea sees the pharmaceutical as an intruder, which means it throws it out, which means it's not in your body. So if you're taking something for your heart or you're taking something for whatever, you want to be 2 hours before or 2 hours after. Otherwise, it might take the wrong thing out and you'll be in trouble.
You've got 2 different types of tea. The super pomegranate tea, folks, is really good. I like it. It's really, really good. And it's good for you because pomegranate is an amazing fruit. It really is.
It really is.
You've also
And
got
having some of, go ahead. I was going to say, it's also good to have some of this in the backlog in case disaster hits.
Amen.
Keep, as long as you keep it at room temperature, it'll last a very long time.
Yep.
And boy, there's no limits at buying 2, get 1 free.
No, that's a great deal you're doing. And you also have the cinnamon Ceylon.
Ceylon cinnamon, yes.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing for to balance your blood.
Good.
So it helps support your blood glucose. It's kind of a stabilizer.
What about the 8th element?
8th element is for some very, very, how would I say it without getting in trouble? It's really good for your body when your body has to fight big intruders.
Well,
because it's
sounds
cordyceps.
like immunity a little bit.
Oh, definitely immunity, but it's a fighter. How's that?
All right.
It's a fighter. So when
Well,
you
we need
have
that.
unwanted guests in your body, it fights for you.
Folks, you can pick up the phone and call Ronnie at his website and place an order at any time. The number there is 928-308-0408. That's 928-308-0408. And like Ronnie said, he's running a great special right there. Look at that. Buy two, get one free. It's all about the tea, folks. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Ronnie, people should be, as you're talking about the economy, Congress is going to sit there this weekend or the next few days and talk about adding another $3.3 trillion to this fiasco. We don't even know what that money's for or where it's coming from or where it's going, do we?
I've always said, beware of bills passed in December.
Yeah.
Because all of Congress, the Senate, all of them, they want to go home with their families. They want to be, slower. They're not going to read big fat bills, 1,000 pages. They don't read those bills anyway. They just usually pick up the highlights.
Yep.
So beware of bills passed in December. And they're going to pass a heck of a lot. I always think when they give money to somebody and then they have all these other bills inside that same bill, I always think, why? Why not make that a separate bill? They don't make that a separate bill because that's how it gets passed.
It's crazy. I mean,
it's called corruption. It's called corruption.
And okay, so they're talking now about the upcoming, the elections are coming in 2022 and all of that. What is it really? I mean, people are losing confidence in what it will all mean. And, I'm not talking about the electoral process. I'm just talking about whoever gets in there. What does that all mean? Is it just kind of do this?
I'm not sure what it means because the voting machines, we'll just leave it that, stop right there. But just think about the voting machines. Stop. Right. And what does this mean? Because it used to be, I would think, that the Democrats are so corrupt and the Republicans are fighting for us. Not so. The Democrats are completely corrupt and the Republicans are completely corrupt. And there's maybe 3 or 4 people in high places that are actually doing the right thing. So they're outnumbered. Sad.
Yeah.
And how they get them is they say, look, we'll give you the inside on this company right here. Stock's going to go through the roof, but you got to play with this. And they go, no, I'm not a player. You're not a player. Okay, well, sit on the outside, be poor, and you're probably going to be gone. Okay, all right, I'll play.
And they keep doing this. I mean, they constantly play this same game, blame game, and each side tries to see how far they can get away with whatever. And, the people are saying, who's really running the store? Who's representing us? I mean, this is insane.
Well, it's not Biden running the show. End of story. Somebody that's been our president before is running the show. That's a fact. So you look at that and you say, wow, is this the kind of life that we're going to be in? And here's the thing. I noticed the administration always throws at China. Let's throw at China. It's China's fault. China's so bad. Then why are you mirroring China?
Yeah, if they're so bad. You're exactly right. Why are we in bed with them if they're so bad? And why are we trying to build a system very similar to what they're doing?
Because China's buying us faster than anything, and China's about ready to lose their real estate. So guess what? If we're the mirror, what's going to happen to us in our real estate?
It's going to crash. We're going to break.
I mean, my house, in less than a year, I made 15%. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's absolutely through the roof crazy.
Yep. That can't continue.
No, it can't continue. And what about gas prices? Gas prices in California, gas prices in New York, over $5, approaching $6 a gallon.
And there's
$5 and $6 a
there's
gallon.
no explanation for it, Ronnie. There's no plan. There's no plan in place on how to drive that down. No plan. We were at $2.20 a gallon less than a year ago.
Yep. And that's overpriced.
Yeah, and that's overpriced.
OPEC's gone, what can we get today? That's really how it goes. It's kind of like, I always think it's interesting when the COVID came around, You go get a motel, they would clean and disinfect the motel, which is fine. That's cool. So they disinfect the motel, you go stay, and you can't get service. If you stay for 3 days, you don't get service.
No.
Do they take down your price? Do they say,
No.
since there's no service, we're going to give you a better deal? No.
They actually
fact, if
raise
anything-
the prices.
Yes. And then the little maids that work so hard, they don't get the hours because there's
No.
not that many rooms to clean.
No.
And then they saved on those little cheesy breakfasts they always give you inside.
Yeah, now you
They
get
save
that
on
little
those
box.
too. They give you a little box that's worth 99 cents. And
got a banana.
Then if an event comes in, then all of a sudden their prices triple
Right.
because of an event. And I call that price gouging.
Oh, it's horrendous. They give you
And
that
this
little
is-
box with a banana and I got with an orange, and it was rotting on one side, and I'm like,
Yes.
really?
Well, the homeless, they go by the homeless and pick up some of the extra boxes so they can give it to us.
It's getting this bad, Ronnie. It really is, and like you said, this can't continue. We're headed for a crash.
It's crazy. It is
Folks.
crazy.
Folks, go right now to Ronnie's website. Go to www.getthetea.com. That's www.getthetea.com. Look, place the order right over the internet real easy. Buy 2, get 1 free on the tea. This is the holiday deal. The tea is great. You'll love the taste. You'll love how much better you feel. Get rid of those toxins and bacteria that get clogging the colon. We don't want that, do we, Ronnie?
No, we really don't. Because that's the other kicker in this is where's the hospitals going to be in the next 6 months?
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Well, when everything starts giving away, it's not like certain places are going to be standing straight up. You know, if you look at your grocery store right now, just your average grocery store, your Kroger grocery stores, there's probably a third of the stock on the shelf that there normally is. So what do you think that's going to be in the case of hospitals and for things that we really need?
It's not good.
No. And this is going to go trickle down to every institution there is. So we're really headed for a hardcore adjustment. And this is why I say it's so, 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 so important to pray. And if you believe in prayer at all, you need to be praying right now because this is not a game. This is not conspiracy. This is not anything but reality coming. And this is, we need to learn from history repeating itself again. The Jews, okay, they didn't believe it was coming.
No.
Oh, they're not going to throw us out of our houses. No, that's not going to happen. They're not. They're not going to go. And why are we taking our clothes off and running around a big pit? This is coming.
Well, and part of it too, you know, is they told them after they about starved them, and they did what was called citizen containment, and they created the ghettos. Then they said to them, okay, here's what we're going to do. You're going to leave all your earthly possessions here. Just bring some clothes and maybe a bag. You're going to get on the train. We're going to give you your own colony, your own place to live. And we're going to leave, you know, that's where we're going to send you because we can't deal with it. They get them on the train, but it doesn't go to this special paradise. It goes to the concentration camps. So they keep promising something better. First they strip it down, squeeze you, strip you down, and then send you to something much worse. But
and a lot of those people died on the train when it was really hot.
Oh yeah.
Because they were being shipped worse than cattle.
Yeah.
And people say we're too civilized. That will never happen again. And that history always repeats itself.
Yep.
Civilizations have been in demise for a long time. We've just gone longer than the normal time. So this is really a time to be praying and have your faith ready to go, because that's
Amen.
really all we've got. Because, you know, money comes and money goes. What, you know? And I'm not trying,
is what's going to
and I'm not trying to sound like doomsday, but sometimes the worst times create the best times.
Yeah.
I will say that. So be aware, make sure you've got the right things at your house that you're storing. you know, and think about it being really bad. What would you need?
Wow.
A hammer is going to be something very valuable. Nails, very valuable. People don't realize what's really going to be of value. Power drills are not going to be of great value because as soon as the power goes out, you don't have a drill.
Right.
I know it sounds crazy.
No,
it does.
Everything that we take for granted, the infrastructure, which I think is what they said they were going to do, is upgrade our infrastructure. I think in these last so many $1 trillion.
Yeah, what's that Green Deal? That Green Deal, you're going to have nothing and you're going to love it. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. Yeah.
Isn't that what they told them when they got on the train in Germany?
I told them the same thing. It's going to be great. We're finally going to get your own place. You guys can live together, have your own colony. It's going to be great.
You'll be fully monitored. Yeah, it'd be wonderful. You'll eat what we tell you to eat. You'll eat how much we tell you to have how much. Yep.
Yeah.
It's time, and it's coming. It's coming like a roller coaster fast.
It really is, folks. It really is.
So
again, guys, do something that would really help you. Probably get the next year started by going to getthetea.com, getting some of these holiday specials, and get some of the supplements that we've been showing you on the screen, and really prepare for the upcoming year, because you want to be sure you're healthy, your immune system is stronger, your sugar levels are regulated. You know, you want to be sure your blood pressure is not being artificially inflated with some of the junk we eat. You got to keep your body cleansed, all of this. So you can handle the next variant or whatever else is coming. You got to get yourself healthy, folks, seriously. So it's real easy. Go to getthetea.com. That's www.getthetea.com. As a matter of fact, the phone number, right there it is, 928-308-0408. Life is too short to slow down. Get yourself healthy. Ronnie, is that right?
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, I hope you're going to have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas and everything.
I am, because take every day that you have in our freedom that we have right now and enjoy. Do special things that you normally wouldn't do, and give your kids a hug and give your parents a hug. Do things that, you know, tell people you love them that you don't normally tell them. Do things out of line that's on a good basis.
Plant some good seeds. Plant some good seeds.
Yep, you'll be rewarded.
You'll get a good return.
Yep.
Ronnie, appreciate it. I'm ready.
Yep. I enjoy. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. God bless, and happy Merry Christmas to you, and Happy New Year.
You too.
Ronnie McMullen, folks. GetTheTea.com. We'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. I'm Pastor Paul Begley. I'll see you next time on the coming apocalypse.